Yeah, for this question, I have four items to talk about. Number one is the financially sound. Two, geographical balance. Three, refining and sprucing up the existing structures in Knightdale. Number four, and commercial and residential mix. Would be, we can do many things and sky's the limit, but constant money borrowing and increasing the debt load is cancerous in the healthy growth. We must be conservative in spending, and we must be very progressive in revenue generation. Geographical balance. Right now, our development has been concentrated into the specific areas. We need to bring out some of the areas less focused, but it is very important to our citizens. Refining and sprucing up. This must be done in order for us to see further growth and development. Knightdale has plenty that we need to pay attention for the cosmetic surgery. Commercial and residential mix must be within our guidelines. Several years ago, our town has set the development guidelines of 40% commercial and 60% residential. I support the ratio, because anytime you have too high percentage of residential establishment, then our town will have consequences from high service responsibilities. One case is Holly Springs. It is so amazing how many citizens do not have any transportation in Knightdale. Have you really noticed? I like to see, even though we have a transportation system from the Knightdale to downtown Raleigh and the vicinity, if we can create the transportation system from the neighborhood street to the major shopping centers, at least we can increase a little more than what it is, so that our citizens can truly use our system for their convenience. I think it is a part duty and responsibility. We must research, identify ways to assist our citizens to be around with the public transportation system.
And I completely agree with that. The way we're going to have to do that is through CAT, the Raleigh system, and TTA, that system. As a town, operating a bus system is just not a feasible possibility for a town our size. And so we do work with them, and that's how we got the initial bus service, and that's how we will eventually end up with the circulator circus.
There should be some enough money out there. We may not have enough money for county and state, but if you are aggressive enough, we'll be able to go after those monies, so that we'll be able to bring those transportation system for the town of Knightdale. It is all about the presentation, how you do, how well you do, how aggressively you do. It'll make a difference.
Next question is first to Mr. Lee. Many people view eastern Wake County as a distinct region. Do you think it is beneficial to partner with Wendell and Zebulon to take regional positions, or should you focus only on Knightdale? Please explain why you believe that this is the correct approach.
I think it is good that we can create the partnership with among three eastern towns. But on the other hand, we need identity as a town of Knightdale. Things that what we can do, we must be able to keep it, such as I'm really looking forward someday in the future if we can have one senior center. Instead of going to Wendell, if we can have facilities like that in Knightdale, it will truly provide our citizens. Yes, it is good to create a partnership. I like to keep the identity, and within the town of Knightdale, we need to provide something for our citizens to enjoy within the town leadership. And I think it is the mayor has the limitation in how much I'm going to be able to involve with the administration directly. But I guess communication will be important. And also, same question came up earlier, will be involving with the city workers, so that making sure we have a close communication and contact, we'll be able to do things together. As a mayor, I like to recognize any good employers and motivate them so that they can continue on, I think that will be my duty more so than anything else.
I would just like to say I agree with June on that as well. And so when I became mayor, we started something called the Mayor's Employee Award, which is exactly that. Each quarter, I give out an award to an employee at the town of Knightdale who's really gone above and beyond the call of duty, who's done something special that quarter. And so we solicit nominations from the peers. We have a meeting, we go over it, and that way we can recognize those employees who do something really special for the town.
Next question is for Mr. Lee. Some have said that Knightdale's UDO guidelines are restrictive to small business. Do you agree with this statement? And what do you plan to do to help local businesses?
That depending on the time. Right now, in this kind of economy, I really think we need to revisit the guidelines so that it needs to be flexible from time to time so that we're going to be able to attract more development coming into town of Knightdale. Right now, unless we do anything, without any intention, we are chasing them away. I want to make sure we revisit and find the ways to attract them to the town of Knightdale. Of course, we do have a limit how much we'll be able to do, but I definitely think we need to proactively engage how we can make our town a lot more attractive for those developers.
This goes to Mr. Killen.
Okay.
The new park plan does not include basketball courts, even though the Parks, Rec, and Open Space document dated December 15, 2010 lists basketball as a top activity, and a citizen survey lists basketball as a higher priority than tennis, baseball, and soccer. Should the plan be revised?
No, and I'll tell you why. It's not a question of if we should provide basketball. It's a question of where we provide basketball. What you look at when you're building parks is the idea of, okay, what are our good mix of uses? We're not providing tennis or baseball in this park either. What we're providing were the highest rated items, which is the question to get to, which were walking trails. That was the number one thing people in Knightdale wanted, is a place to walk and a place to hike. We're providing that. We're providing a huge playground for kids. And what we're doing is we're providing this in kind of an open green park space area. The idea is we've definitely tried to limit any sort of pavement. We didn't look at baseball fields because we were going to have a bunch of lighted fields. We didn't think that fit in. And this thing we're having, as the park plan is designed, we've got one lighted field, and then pretty much the rest of it is open park with playgrounds and picnic shelters and trails and much more of a true park feel. Do we need to provide additional basketball courts? Absolutely. Is our central park the place to put those basketball courts? I don't think so. I just don't think that's the right mix of activity to go with the walking and the playgrounds and those kind of things. And I think that's generally what the park planners that we consulted with, they told us the same thing, is that, you know, we hear you, we're not sure this would be the best place to put basketball courts. If you want to do that, let's look at another location.
And I simply cannot comprehend why we are not able to identify a spot at the 70-plus acre property for our citizens to play basketball. It is more famous than soccer and tennis, that we are thinking that it does not fit into the new park environment. We must think about the citizens, what they do. I remember October 1, about 10:30 in the morning, at the Planners Work Forum, Russell mentioned the safety issue there. Gave us an example, the stabbing incident at the basketball court. Let me ask you, the fighting at the soccer field is an accident, and fighting at the basketball court is a crime? I really do not think it is that's the way. We are not doing anything. We need to try hard, making sure we put a basketball court. More citizens do play basketball. I want to see we try to play basketball in the new park, 70-plus acre land.
I would like to rebut, which is we had multiple meetings with the citizens. This went through our Land Use Review Board, our Parks and Rec Board. It went through the council. We had people over the Christmas parade looking at this. People had time to put in their input. We looked at this. The citizens have spoken. Look, I do not believe this is the right place for a basketball court in Knightdale. We have them at the high school. We'll find other locations for basketball, but this is not the right location, and that's what every board in the town of Knightdale that's looked at this has decided.
Yes, there are many voices unheard. Quite a few actually leading the group will be able to express their opinion professionally, logically, will be able to convince. But on the other hand, when you look at the grassroots citizens, there are many out there. They just wish it is out there, but on the other hand, they do not have enough way to convince the town officials or decision makers. I still think we need to try to put this basketball court on this new park. During my campaign, I encountered a citizen asking the question about the definition of a mayor. I replied this way: mayor is the one who picks up the trash on the street before anyone does. He immediately told me I got his vote. Knightdale mayor has to be more than presiding council meetings, acting as a liaison for the town, and speaks at the event. We need a mayor who will be able to play with our children and smile and cry with the citizens. We need a mayor who will be able to visit seniors, identify their needs, and assist them with whatever the resources we have in our town. We need a mayor who can ride on emergency fire trucks and police cars. We need a mayor who patrols around the town identifying the needs of citizens. We need a mayor who will be able to create harmony in this very diverse community. And we need a mayor who is not afraid of getting his hand dirty. I am ready to serve our citizens with the highest passion, and I'm ready to take this town to the next level. Knightdale's future is bright, but I cannot do them all. Ladies and gentlemen, as you prepare to cast your vote in coming weeks for Knightdale mayor, I hope you can give me the opportunity to serve you. In closing, let me take you back to what I said earlier. This campaign is not about me or my opponent. It must be about your children, my children, our hopes and dreams for better Knightdale. Thank you so much.
Thank you both. That concludes our debate. Please join me in thanking both of these candidates for their participation.